Okay, so let's start with the first section. We can see that we have a section with two columns, the image of the coach on the left and the text or the description of the coach on the right with a nice background behind the text. Alright, so let's go back to our Elementor edit screen. And here we will need to create a section with two columns. So let's choose this one. To the left column, we will drag an image, the image widget over here, and we will choose our coach to be on the left side. This guy over here, just like so. I'm going to check it and click Insert Media. Excellent. I will save our progress, and when closing the Elementor sidebar, we can see that this column doesn't take the full width, and we know that it's limited to 1040 pixels inside the section. So let's go to the section settings, and instead of the box, we'll change it to full width. Now we're taking the full width minus the padding that each of the columns have, the default 20 pixels for each column. So we'll go to the columns advanced tab and we'll change it to 0 because we don't want any padding, and we will copy this style into the second column. And to prove that it's working, we can just go to the advanced tab and see that it's 0. So both columns have 0 padding and it's taking full width from left to right. Now let's drag the necessary elements to the right. This is the footer, so we don't really need it. I can close the window. And to the right column, I will drag the divider, also the title widget. And under the title widget, we will drag a text editor, just like so. The first thing to do is to align the content in both columns to the center. So we'll go to the section settings and we'll change the vertical align to middle. So now we can start styling each of the elements individually, and let's start with the divider. We don't need to make it 100%, 30% will be just fine. And of course, let's center it. We also have the option to add text or icon. If you decided to add text, just type in the text here that you would like to appear inside the divider, as you can see. But I will stick with the icon and will change it to dumbbell. Great. Now I can also see in our demo site that the gap between the divider and the title is smaller. So inside the style tab, I'm going to change it and reduce it to 2 pixels, which is the minimum, just like so. And I can also change the text, the color, the size, etc. Of course, you already know that, and we don't need to spend too much time on that one. Let's move on to the title element. And here we will type his name and we will center it, just like so. And you already know that you can change anything you want regarding the text, size, font family, colors, etc. I don't want to focus on that one again. Let's move on to our paragraph, and this is something that I would like you to know. If you remember right, at the beginning of this lecture, we changed the default settings of the section. Instead of taking only 1040 pixels, to take the full width of the page. That means that each of the columns will take 50% of the page, right? And because each of the elements takes 100% of the width of the column that it's in, there is a chance that this paragraph will be very, very long on big screens. Therefore, it will be very smart to limit the width of this paragraph to take about maybe 600 pixels. And that will look good on every screen size. So let's go to the advanced tab of this paragraph, and I'm gonna teach you something very cool. Here in the positioning tab, change the width to custom, and here we will set the paragraph to be no more than maybe 600 pixels or 575 pixels. And that will guarantee that it will look good on every screen size. Now we can see that it's only 575, but it's starting from the left side of the column. So let's center the element inside the column by going to the column settings. And here we'll change the horizontal align to center. And we can see that the element is limited to 575 pixels. It's in the center of the column. And even if we're viewing it from a larger screen, let's say we minimize the Elementor sidebar, we can see that the paragraph didn't change. It's still 575. It doesn't take the full width of the column, which is great. It will look good on every screen. Excellent. So now let's just center the text inside the element by clicking on it. We'll go to the Content tab. In this case is the Style tab. And here we will center the text. We can see that the text got centered inside the element. Alright, back to our demo site. We can see that we have a nice background behind this column. And we can set the background column to be for the whole section, but because we already have an image here on the left side, we're just going to set it up for the column. So inside the Style tab, change the background color to Classic and set up your background image. We have it here in our Resources folder. Just going to drag it and set it up. Looking great. We can change the position to center in order to center the background image, as you can see, like so. And that looks really good. I'm going to save our changes and refresh the About Us page. Now in the next lecture, I will show you how to create the second section, which is very similar, how to flip between the columns, and why we need to delete the coach photo and set it up as a background image.